I have a former friend who thought it was more important for her to try to make a place and position herself on this show than to be a friend. And a lot of signs were there. You know how you sometimes have those friends where the signs are there, but you just kind of ignore them because you've known them for so long and you want to see them how you want to see them. Well, one thing that my husband has been telling me is from his own experience when he first made it to the NFL, you lose a lot of friends when you start to elevate or if you start to do something that's new or different. And that started happening to me. And it definitely was just like, it was very hurtful. I just decided to just like cut the friend off. And at that moment, things really started getting out of hand. This former friend started reaching out to production, spreading lies and basically saying, I'm gonna just read to you some of the stuff that she wrote on her pages. So just so y'all can see, all of these papers y'all see over here, all of that, those are statements from people that she reached out to, from production to cast to my own friends and family. Like, that's how crazy she is. So she reached out to these people trying to get them to believe whatever story she was telling, and nobody would believe it. So the next best thing that she could do was to start going to cast members who she thought were thirsty enough to listen to the story and whoever she thought that she could manipulate. So when she did those things and I started finding out about what she was doing, because she was telling my own good friends who she met through us about all of this stuff that she was planning to do. So this is what she said about me. Now, y'all know I had a miscarriage. Oh, God, when was that? That was in 2017. So I had a miscarriage. This is what she says on one of her posts. She says, when people have abortions and call it a miscarriage, yeah, you miscarried your legs, one in front of the other, all the way to the slaughterhouse. She sent this message to one of the producers. Then she apologizes and says, I'm sorry, I was having a moment. When he finally responds, he's like, what the F? I'm in complete shock. She said Monique has adapted a reputation amongst her friends that if you can't do something for her, you're disposable. Not cool. I've wished nothing but the best for her. He said, that doesn't even sound like her. She loves you. She's been distant for a while unless she's filming. You know what? You never really know a person till they get a little coin. But me, honey, I will expose all frauds. That miscarriage BS she's parading around is some publicity BS. That girl didn't even want that baby. I think she had an abortion. It's actually kind of pissing me off. So he said, oh my God, no way. Monique seemed to be genuinely upset about that. No, babe, ask for receipts. I bet she won't and can't give you any. So she's telling my producer to ask for receipts that I had a miscarriage. I guess my husband witnessing the actual miscarriage wasn't enough of a receipt, and me having to go to the doctor wasn't enough of a receipt. So that's where it started. She then starts reaching out to, let me pull it up, to cast members. I don't know how she got Candiace's number, but she sends Candiace a text message and basically says, can you pass my number on to Sharice? She wanted Sharice's number because she knew me and Sharice had fallen out. So I guess she thought that would be her easy in. Also, she knew that Sharice was trying to get back on the show. So she's trying to team up with Sharice. She reaches out to Candiace and she's talking all this stuff to Candiace. And she's like, you know, she wants to talk to her on the phone. Candiace then proceeds to talk to her on the phone for 2 hours as she rants and starts saying whatever it is that she's saying. Later on down the line, once she finds out that I was pregnant, she then starts saying that I was cheating on Chris and that the baby wasn't Chris's. All of this while I'm having a high-risk pregnancy. I had to stop working out because I almost lost my baby. Chase, I almost lost him at 8 weeks pregnant. And I've said this before. People already know this. I was 8 weeks. My doctor sent me in for early ultrasound because I had a miscarriage. So he wanted to check and make sure things were okay. Lo and behold, the sac was tearing on both sides. So he put me on a high risk bed rest for 8 weeks So I couldn't do anything. He told me not even to lift my babies. He said, you can't have sex. You can't do anything. He know. So I couldn't do anything. So, and then the pregnancy was pretty difficult. Prior to Andy's baby shower, I was pregnant. The rumors were circulating from GIGI, the former friend. I just said her name. I didn't even want to say her name. It's like demonic saying her name. Okay, former friend goes to Sharice. Then she ends up gathering up whatever little circle. Sharice starts spreading the message to the whole group. Candiace knew about all of this because she asked her for Sharice's number and she gave it to her. So the fact that she didn't understand how me and Sharice weren't clicking is absolute BS. So anyway, we going into the filming season. They wanted to bring all of this to the show. And one thing y'all know about me is that I don't play when it comes to my family. You can say whatever you want about me, but you're not going to involve my kids, my husband. That's where I draw the line. I was almost like this for season 4. I was about to not even come back because I was a high-risk pregnancy. And I was like, I don't want to be around that negative energy. And I'm carrying a baby. Like, I don't even want to do it. So everything was like, production didn't want to touch it. They were like, this is disgusting for her to even try to spread these rumors. This is nasty. They didn't want to even deal with it. They was like completely disgusting. But you had a few women on the show who wanted to bring it to camera. They were like, yeah, we're going to take her down and we're going to expose and put all of this stuff out there. They wanted to bring this nonsense to the show. We go the whole season. Candiace brought up the former friend's name twice while we were filming. And I'm just looking at her like, wow, like really? Giselle brings her up. None of that ever aired. Wasn't surprised when Giselle did it. I mean, we're not friends and I already know she's hateful and miserable. So we go the whole season. Season's done. Now comes the baby. Now comes Andy's baby shower. They all get together. It was Candiace, Giselle, Robin, and a few other people. They all get together and they have this dinner after the shower and they begin to plot on me. So apparently Giselle starts saying that she's going to bring this to reunion and I'm going to tell people that Chase isn't Chris's. And whoever was at the dinner was basically like, well, that's not going to fly. Then Candiace spoke up and said, Chase looks just like Chris. Like nobody's going to believe that. So they had to go from a different angle, I guess. So I didn't even know about any of this until Karen called me. Karen calls me and she said, I can't believe Giselle. And I'm like, what happened? So she's like, what do you mean what happened? All the stuff she was saying about you. And I was like, what was she saying about me? What are you talking about? She's like, wait, Candiace didn't call you? I said, I have not heard from Candiace. I said, honestly, Karen, Candiace and I don't talk like that.
And there were other things said, other kind of plotty things that were said. And I also want to say that I told Monique what was said at that dinner.
I was like, we talk when we're filming. I said, but when it's off season, the only time we talk is if I reach out to her. So Karen was like, I cannot believe she didn't call and tell you. I'm like, can you please just tell me what you're talking about? She said, yeah, so Giselle is planning to go to reunion and to tell people during the reunion that Chase isn't Chris's and that you were cheating on him and that's not his baby. I'm like, are you kidding me? Like, how disgusting is it, number one? Like I said, you can say whatever you want to say about me, but to talk about my child? Now, if somebody talked about any one of Giselle's daughters or even the illegitimates from her ex, she will go berserk. So to bring up my child's name when you know the mess ain't true, how low down and disgusting is that? So now we have two situations going on here. We got Karen telling me what she's telling me. Nobody else is saying anything to me. So I'm just like, okay, well, we could just going to ride this out and see what happens. Candiace never came to me with it. She never told me until we were about to start filming season 5. So this is coming into season 5. Candiace only told me because I asked her about it. And I said, what was about this dinner, this, that, and the other? And then she proceeds to tell me the same thing that Karen says. But she left out her part in the conversation. So apparently she was actually cheerleading the whole conversation because she had talked to the former friend. So she's cheerleading and doing all of this stuff. So I'm finding out bits and pieces as we go along. And before anybody else asks and says anything about the whole fight, this whole situation had nothing to do with the fight. Absolutely not. One thing that I'm not going to do is I'm not going to talk about people's kids, and I'm not going to spread lies and rumors. The only time I ever talked any type of nonsense on this show that was gossipy was about Sherman. But guess what? That wasn't a lie. That actually happened. And I apologize for bringing that even to the forefront because it had happened so long ago. But one thing I will not do is tell lies on people. I will not sit back and try to destroy somebody's family. And I just don't play that. And I don't appreciate that people running around here protesting, talk about Black Lives Matter, but they sitting here trying to destroy a whole black family off of some reality TV entertainment BS because they have nothing else to talk about. So you want to keep coming after me. So when people keep saying, oh, Monique needs self-control and she's this and she's that, at the end of the day, you get to a point where you're fed up. Now, what y'all need to understand is that I spent 2 years. 2 years. It's been 2 years since they tried to start all this stuff. And I have had to be professional and work with these heifers and still show up and put a smile on my face. So when y'all sit back and y'all saying, oh, you forgave Giselle for what she did. No, I never forgave anything. She never brought it to me. So it was left as it was. And I never forgave that. I had to be a professional and show up and do my job. And that's what I did. Now, the problem that I have with Candiace is Candiace was showing me a friendly face, but then she was doing some real shady crap behind my back. So now I'm confused and I'm like, wait, if Giselle's doing this crap, I get it. I don't fool with her. She's not my friend. I'm expecting for a person who says they're my friend, who we just patched up and said, look, we're going to do better by each other. We're going to look out. I'm expecting for that friend to consider me the same way I would consider them. And that didn't happen. So that's the problem that I have with her. And while she's sitting here on live saying my child's name, which she should not be doing, but she's a child herself, so God forgive her. While she's out here trying to clean up her mess, she's throwing everybody else under the bus, and she finally actually further clarified some of the things that I had been hearing that I didn't even know were completely true. So you got Candiace out here throwing crap, hiding her hand. You got Sharice out here throwing crap, hiding her hand. Now, no, Sharice didn't start the rumor, but she definitely contributed. And I know for a fact, her, the former friend, and another chick were literally on the phone at nights having three-way conversations. And they were literally plotting. How disgusting. How nasty when you are a woman who has been through divorce, who has dealt with infidelity with your own husband. And from what Giselle says, with yourself, with the fireman. Like, what the heck? And the thing that sucks the most about it is that they all know that it's some made up BS. Now, I'm going to address something about Ashley right now. So while y'all sitting back and y'all saying, oh, you didn't do this with Ashley and you moved on with Ashley. Well, guess what Ashley did? Ashley, once we made up, Ashley told me about everything that was going on. She wasn't at the dinner and she did not want to play any parts in what was going on. And every time that a camera was in her face and she was expected to start speaking on these nasty rumors, Ashley and Michael shut the crap down. And they said, we are absolutely not talking about Monique, Chris, their children, or anything else. And they shut it down. And every time she shut it down, she then called me and gave me a heads up as to what was going on. So while y'all sitting here talking about Ashley, Ashley has been more of a friend to me than Candiace on a rainy day. So a lot of stuff be going on behind the scene. And at the end of the day, the hate is very real. And I've been saying this, and I've been trying to be the bigger person. I've been trying to just like do my part and then take my tail home. But at the point where you start trying to destroy my family and my marriage with some BS, and they need to check the credibility of the person who they're getting this information from.
And you know what's crazy? If they had facts and like real stuff, I can't be mad at them. But at the end of the day, they knew it was bogus. They knew it was a lie and literally have no information to back anything up. One thing that I stay out of the women drama. I mean, that's their show. That's their gig. it is what it is. I try to stay out of that. But at the point when people are putting my kids in their mouth and talking about my babies, my little boy ain't even 2 years old yet, just getting introduced to the world. All right, he don't even know what's going on. And you got grown people out here plotting to damage my family and my kids. And I don't appreciate it. It's a lot of ugly mess going on with a lot of these people on this show that I know about.
There's nasty rumors and there's nasty truths.
No, it's some fact stuff that I've seen with my own eyes. But you know what? I respect people's families. So some of these people out here running their mouth, they really need to pump their brakes before I get like the dude on Why Did I Get Married and say, y'all want to tell it? Let's tell it all.
When she started going on everybody.
Yeah, no, he went on everybody. And
no, it was the wife.
No, but initially the guy.
Yeah, he sure did.
But at the end of the day.
Because she was like at the end, she said, boom.
Yeah, she had her checkmate too. But what I'm saying is, that ain't my character to be, going after people, going after their family. This is the women's thing, and I respect that. All right, all of the stuff that Monique has been attacked on, and Monique is through jabs back. It is what it is. That's their fight.
I can do fun shade all day.
No doubt. But when you bringing my babies in,
right.
Like, that's fire. And y'all some dirty tricks. I don't fool with y'all. I'm not going to play this game and roll with this show and act like everything is hunky-dory. I wish I could turn into Bruce Jenner and slap the shit out of all of y'all right now. Because that's foul. That's a baby. All right? And y'all got babies. And I respect y'all families and I respect y'all babies. Y'all some dirty people and I don't appreciate it. I really don't. I'm pissed off right now. Bringing my baby in it. Putting my baby in your mouth. Like, y'all lucky that I'm a man, because I will stomp the shit out of y'all.
And he used to do that for a living, so. And honestly, me and Chris and our kids and our bird have enough going on in this house where we can entertain for days without having to throw somebody under the bus.
That's fine, man. I don't appreciate it. So, it ain't going to be good for me with dealing with these folks.
And after all of this, now that I really know, and I heard it out of the people's mouths and everybody quiet now, now that I really know the whole picture, you really think these tricks gonna be up in my house ever again? Karen and Ashley about the only two people that are welcome here at this point. Wendy get a pass because I don't really know her like that. And, she's new. We'll see. We got to finish watching the episodes to see what happened. But, so yeah, like, how do you move forward from here?
I'll bet.
When all of this has been put out and all of this is now on public display and now everybody knows the front story and the back story and the side story. Now y'all know all the BS. And only because I'm like, okay, I'm grateful for this platform on this show. Even the network has boundaries. Even they were like turned off and disgusted by this whole mess. So I respect that. And that's why I kept showing up and doing my job. But at this point, do y'all really think, why would I want to be around that? Why would I welcome that into my house? I need to go get some sage already. Like business as usual in the Samuels house, like I was still grinding, pregnant and everything. And then still having to like fight tricks, like pregnant, arguing with people. So it's exhausting, y'all. It's exhausting. But yeah, the reason I have collected all of this. Oh, and get this. This is what's funny. Okay, so I got a statement from one of my friends who the former friend reached out to. And she tried to say that Sharice is the one that started the rumors. Sharice told her that there was a rumor that you were pregnant. Why does my screen keep going dim? Sharice, this is coming from the former friend who started the rumors. She's throwing it on Sharice. Sharice told her that there was rumors that you were pregnant with someone else's child. And she said that she talked to some of the friends from the show. And, she also said that producers had reached out to her to come on the show, but she hadn't decided what she was going to do. Now, we all know that's a darn lie because I have text message after screenshots of DMs of her reaching out to producers. I have packets, literally packets. It's ridiculous. And all the producers were so turned off that they told me exactly what the deal was. She's reaching out to the impressed, trying to get on the show, and thought that that dirty mess and lies would win her a spot.
And it's very hurtful, too, because when we down for somebody, we down for somebody. We love them as a family. And to get dogged out like this and betrayed like this, to start something just to get on TV, it's foul and it's very hurtful. Very hurtful.
It just really, it destroys the dynamic of the show, even as a viewer watching, because it's like, we watch Housewives to be entertained. We don't watch it to see people's families and lives destroyed over some BS. So I hope it was worth it, coming around as an extra for free, unmiked. So, and as far as the whole Giselle situation and, oh, you were friends with shit, I was doing my job. I was doing my job. And I even said when I sat down to lunch that I always think negative of you when I hear your name. I had a whole moment and kept it all the way real. I don't trust you. I was about to cancel this lunch. I really didn't want to come. Did not want to do it. But I said, you know what? I'm a person who, I'm when it comes to being professional, I am on time. I do my job. I do what I'm contracted to do. So, but I knew, I was like, this is a setup. Why all of a sudden is she trying to be cool with me? And then all of a sudden you see Sharice popping up in scenes and all of that. And she wasn't brought by production. She only came when she was invited to come by whoever was having an event. So that's why when y'all saw episode 2, when Giselle said, your friend invited, that shock on my face was genuine shock. I had no idea. I assumed that she was invited by either Giselle or Robin. 100%. Didn't even think for 1 minute that Candiace invited her. That's how sold I was. I was like, nah, Candiace would have told me. Nope. So, how does Chris feel about the big boy comment? I'll let Chris answer that.
First off, it pisses me off because she addresses everybody else that's a male on the show by their name. And
except for when she calling
Ray,
Karen
Uncle
husband,
Ben. Yeah.
Ray, Uncle Ben, which is disrespectful.
Right, but the whole thing is, it's not meant to be fun shade for the TV show. It's very belittling. And Monique and Giselle, they stay at each other's throat. It is what it is. But at the end of the day, don't attack me just to get under Monique's skin. All right, and black men done been through so much in this nation by being called a boy, and for another black person to try to belittle them and put them down is very disrespectful. I don't appreciate it. And it's not just a little fun shade. It's very disrespectful, and I can see right through the BS.
It's
and
condescending.
Right, and I'm not playing the games with that, you know. And I don't want to attack, you know, who she's dating. I don't want to attack anything dealing with her family. But at the end of the day, you know, she's the one attacking first. I've never had a problem with Giselle outside of anything else other than, you know, I had a problem some of the stuff that she's been doing to my wife. But other than that, I let it be. That's a show. They go at it. It is what it is. And I respect that. But at the end of the day, why are you coming at me? I don't come at what she got going on and that mess she got. Mm-hmm. I don't do that. You know what I'm saying? So I don't appreciate the big boy comments. It's very belittling and dogging me out. And that's what black men had to struggle with for so many years. And for another black person to do it, it's pretty bad. But then Black Lives Matter. Yeah, right.
People running around here promoting black because it's popular right now. Ain't nobody buying that. It all started because y'all got 4 homes.